Vivo's new foldables here, the X Fold 5. There doesn't seem to be a Pro model, well, at least not yet. And this has an inner screen that, when unfolded, is 8.03 inches. LTPO screen that is 120 Hertz. It's bright, 4500 nits is their claim, and it's running FunTouch OS 15. Android 15 is what it's based off. And it has a very large battery, 6,000 milliamp hours, 80-watt charging. And the cameras on the rear, still we have the Zeiss optimization, which is great to see, and a T-Star coating with it, and a 3x periscopic camera. So all three of those cameras, they are 50 megapixels. Outer and inner cameras, 20 megapixels. Spec sheet looks all great until you see it's got a last-gen chipset. It's a Snapdragon 8 Gen 3. Yes, the last gen, but still a good chip. And maybe we're going to see the 8 Elite, who knows, in the Pro model if that is coming out.
So apart from the phone, this is what else we get. So an 80-watt flash charger, Type A to Type C cable, and they have right here a case and some paperwork. Now I do have some bad news. It's not coming out in Europe. It's going to be in Malaysia, Hong Kong, and a few other countries. Some trade tools. Singapore, I believe, is another one there, but not Europe. That's quite disappointing. So we have a case that's only going to be protecting just the back of it. It's nice and slim and light, and I like this matte finish that it does have. The phone weight for a foldable is not bad at all, 217 grams. This is titanium grade. It has a frosted glass finish to it, the back of it, and it feels good. It looks great. Now you see on cameras there, we've got 3 of them, so 50 megapixels, and yes, we've got the T-Star coating. You can see the little T there, so Zeiss Optics co-engineered with them. They still have that fantastic relationship, and I hope that remains for some time yet. Now, how thick is it? Well, it's not bad at all, the thinness of it. So folded now, you're looking at here, this is just over 9. It's 9.2 millimeters. So this is not going to be the slimmest out there. Now, the SIM tray does take 2 nano SIMs. We've got loudspeakers here, microphone, Type-C supports video out. It's USB 3.2, and it is Gen 1. And up the top here, IR transmitter, another loudspeaker and microphone. You can see the camera module there juts out quite a bit along the back. This is a glossy metal finish to it. And when open, well, we'll have a look at the front screen actually first. We've got the side fingerprint reader here, and it works well. So just demonstrate that, capacitive, and it works 10 out of 10 times for me. So our front screen here is 6.53 inches, AMOLED, it's Full HD Plus resolution, 120 Hertz and LTPO. This can get up to 4500 nits brightness, and it's using 2nd gen Armor glass. And when you open it up, that then is our 8.3 inch sized screen, and I don't know why the accelerometer, there we go, it's flipped around. So the hinge feels very good. No funny squeaking or adhesive type noises that I had once with the Xiaomi Mix, what was that one, the Mix Fold 4. It made that sticking kind of noise, not happening here. Crease here, you can see it because of my lights when I reflect it, but when you're using it and looking at it face on as you normally do, you don't hold your phones at strange angles trying to get reflections all the time, then trust me, the Fold's crease there is not going to be a problem, and you kind of forget it's even there when you're using it. Now, running my finger over it, yeah, you can feel it, but it's not that bad at all. So it's very good. And this screen here, 120 Hertz, it's also LTPO, and the resolution of this one is a 2K plus resolution, so 2480 by 2200 pixels. So it looks sharp, looks good, and the contrast, great. And in direct sunlight, it's not as good. I mean, you can make it out. Now, that banding you're seeing, this was just on camera. It's to do with the shutter rate. You don't see that in person. So it's a fantastic screen. So for our UI, we are looking at here FunTouch OS. This is version 15. And like I've said in my other Vivo videos, I think Origin OS, which is for the local market there, the Chinese version, still is a bit better. You get better widgets and other things, and I find their performance seems to be a little better. However, FunTouch, I've been using it now since the release of this phone here. That is the X200 Pro. And I find that FunTouch, absolutely fine. I've gotten used to it. I experienced no problems, no major bugs, no major issues. It is better than Hyper OS, I think, than what Xiaomi has. And overall, I mean, the performance with the Snapdragon 8 Gen 3, even though it is last gen, and the 16 gigabytes of RAM, it's enough. It is very quick and snappy. We've got 120 frames per second with the UI. I've experienced no glitches, no lags. Multitasking is very good, which is great. It's what you want. When you first power it on and you go through all the setup, you will be presented with this. Quite a few bloatware applications. I mean, it's not too bad. TikTok, LinkedIn, Facebook, and in total around about 7 bloatware-ish kind of apps. It's not bad compared to some other brands. There was a firmware update out of the box just to improve stability and performance, and I've noticed no major bugs or glitches or anything. And eSIM support is on board, I can confirm. There's a lot of phones that come out that don't have eSIM, and I'm an eSIM user myself when I travel because it's so easy. It's just scanning a barcode. Now, battery life with this display forced to 120 Hz has been very good. For a foldable, you're looking at around 7.5 hours of on-screen time. It does have a 6,000 milliamp hour battery, and that is certainly helping with that performance. And we got that 80 watt charging too. So that means that it fully charges the 6,000 milliamp hours, as you can see here, from 19% in only 38 minutes. That is really good, much better than I was expecting. We have a little shortcut button here that I missed when we looked at the design. It's right here. So you can set this to what you want. You can get it to open the camera. If you double tap, it turns on the torch, or different apps that it can launch from this button. It's a nice little handy addition to have. Just taking a look at our storage speeds right now, and it's very good. As you can see, these sequentials are great, over 3,000. Very good random access, both of them over 1,000 megabytes per second. And AI read speed is also very good. Even though this is last gen, Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 still performs very well when it comes to the storage speeds. And then the Antutu score, well, it's not too bad because it's almost 2 million, and some of the Snapdragon 8 Elite foldables are going to have similar kind of scores because that chip's quite hot. They need to throttle it. This is also a hot chip. And you can see the GPU score there, very good still, even with the Adreno 750 and the CPU memory. So all up, the performance has been great for a foldable. Multitasking is definitely a reason to go for a foldable if you're someone that always likes to run 2 apps at the same time and have them side by side. So I have them, as you can see, split screen here. You're able to resize this. I've got the gallery open, and I've just been taking a look at some of the super macro shots that I've taken here of a hibiscus flower, and I'm really impressed with the results. So I can easily go along and do that, download something in Play Store. You get the idea. I mean, we all know about this. It's something that poor Apple users can't do at all. And down the bottom, we've got our little quick launch dock here. So I can go along and launch something else. All right. And you can also run apps in floating windows too if you wanted to do so. Now, you don't have to use this all the time. This is not forced upon us. If you don't want it, you simply just need to tap and hold. It's gone. It disappears. You want it back? So either side here, just need to hold, and it comes back. I find it's kind of useful to have this because you can quickly launch some of your recent apps that you do use, and you're able just to bring them all up to if you wanted, like so. So multitasking, as expected, foldables, it is fantastic. Now gaming, even though it is last gen, this is Wurthering Waves on the absolute top settings. Their frame rate does dip down somewhat in some areas. This is a very demanding game. A lot of you asked me to test it out, and I've just only really gotten into the game. But I've seen already that in some places, it's going to lag a little. This happens even with the Snapdragon 8 Elite. And really, the performance to me, honestly, I'm not seeing too much of a difference between the Snapdragon 8 Elite and Snapdragon 8 Gen 3 when it comes to foldables. Maybe a few less frame dips. It still is, as you can see, really playable here on the top settings. But do expect that now and then it will dip down into the 40s. It should be always at 60 frames per second, but games like this are incredibly tough, even on these more modern chipsets. Now you do feel it get quite warm around the frame, the camera module area when you decide to game for longer periods. You're going to feel that frame get quite warm. Phone calls have been good. It is like any other flagship. I can't really tell any difference at all. Haptics, okay. The motor gives a nice little buzz, but it's very short, the pulse. I wish it was a bit stronger. Some other phones, even older phones, are a lot better than this. But for a slim device, I guess they do have some limitations on that haptics motor. So what I'm going to do is play now that typical track I play, which is NCS Why So Serious. And I'll crank the volume right up just to give us an idea of what the dual loudspeakers do sound like. And I think for a foldable, they are perfectly fine. They're acceptable. It could be a little bit louder, but overall, I'm pleased with them. Over to the cameras with our X Fold 5. So the 20 megapixel outer and inner cameras, they only shoot 1080p, 30 and 60 frames per second. You have to use the outer cameras if you want 4K for vlogging. Now this does have electronic image stabilization, but I'll test the outer cameras now. This is the ultra wide, which is good for people vlogging because it's 15 millimeters. Not the widest that we've seen with some phones, but it still gets a lot more in the shot, as you can see here. I got to remember to look at the main cameras on the back, so I'm using the outer screen as the preview screen here, like we see with other foldables. I can then go over to the main camera, so we're getting a lot better quality now. So all three of the rear cameras here, they're 50 megapixels, and you could even use that 3x zoom camera, but since I'm vlogging with this kind of style, that would be way too close. So this is back with that main camera. You can shoot 8K 30, but only with the main camera, not with the periscopic 3x or the ultra wide. And this is now that 3x zoom camera. It's using optical image stabilization. And as I move about a little bit, you can see it's pretty steady. A little bit of wobble and rock to it, but that's probably more my fault. Now if I hold it really still, there we go. It's looking pretty good. 10x preset. And yeah, you can definitely see that drop in quality with that when you go to 10x. That is back to the main camera here, and just pan around and show you now the ultra wide, which I wish was a little bit wider. This is 15 millimeters as mentioned. I would love to see Vivo start to use, say, 13 millimeter ultra wides. The X Fold 5 does have some great cameras. Now, portrait mode that I was testing out here, this is using 3x optical zoom, and I forgot to turn off the beautifying, so it's on the standard mode. And yes, there is a bit of skin smoothing, but the stitching does look good, and overall a very pleasant shot, and more natural if you do turn off the beautifying. So here we have the ultra wide, 16 millimeters. I really do wish it was a bit wider. 13 would have been great. 23 millimeter, that's our main camera, and all of these cameras are 50 megapixels on the rear. 70, so that's 3x optical zoom. I then take it up to 10x. That's mostly digital then, but still a very usable shot, and great for a foldable phone to have this kind of quality. All up, the day shots do look really good for a foldable phone. Plenty of details. I like the Zeiss colors. This is another 10x zoom example, looking very good. Lots of detail, a little bit over sharpened. And we have this super macro mode that we've seen with their flagships is present with the X Fold 5. And as you can see from these samples, you can get some excellent results. Low light performance, while it's not the X200 Pro or Ultra, still very good for a foldable phone. These were taken at almost midnight and they look way brighter than what it really was.
So I really like what I'm seeing having used this model now for a week. The hinge, very good, feels great. Screen, excellent, both of them. I've had no problems with FunTouch 15, FunTouch OS, and it's based off Android 15.2 as well there. And the battery life has been solid with a 6,000 milliamp hour battery. We've got 80 watt charging, so fully charges in around about 40 minutes from 15% where you would normally charge, or even lower. Still very quick, way quicker than Samsung. And the cameras, excellent. Zeiss optimization, T-star coding, reducing the glare and the lens flare and stuff that we do sometimes get. And I love the super macro mode, portrait mode, the Zeiss colors as well, I think are excellent, well optimized. So if you want better than average cameras, you definitely want to go for the X Fold 5. And the downsides to this model here, well, it's a last gen chipset. That for me is not a huge thing because the performance in what I've seen is still very good. We get the 16 gigabytes of RAM, 512 gigabytes of storage. And the big one is it's not available in Europe. It's not a worldwide release, unfortunately. And this is something I hope Vivo can fix. Maybe later they can bring it out, bring it to Europe. I really think this would give Samsung a bit of a run for their money with the Z Fold 7, because if people want better cameras, better battery capacity, charging rates, and overall great phone, then they would definitely like to have this option. So Vivo, if you're watching this video, please bring it to Europe. So that is my review of the Vivo X Fold 5. Thanks a lot for watching.